The recent phone call between Russian President Vladimir Putin and former US President Donald Trump has sent shockwaves across the globe. The world held its breath, hoping for a breakthrough in the grueling Ukraine conflict. The outcome, however, was a mixed bag, offering a glimmer of hope while simultaneously highlighting the immense challenges that lie ahead. During the call, Putin agreed to a partial ceasefire, focusing solely on attacks targeting Ukrainian energy infrastructure. This concession, while significant, falls short of the comprehensive ceasefire that President Trump, and indeed the world, had hoped for. Putin remains steadfast in his refusal to cease all hostilities, leaving Ukraine in a precarious position. The partial agreement marks a fragile step towards de-escalation, but the road to peace remains fraught with obstacles. The international community watches with bated breath, unsure whether this fragile truce will hold, or if it will crumble under the weight of distrust and animosity. The coming days will be crucial in determining the fate of Ukraine and its people. The reaction to the partial ceasefire agreement has been mixed, reflecting the complex geopolitical landscape surrounding the conflict. Ukraine, while cautiously welcoming the prospect of reduced attacks on its energy infrastructure, expressed concerns over the limited scope of the agreement. President Zelensky, facing immense pressure from both his people and international allies, stressed the need for a complete cessation of hostilities. European allies, who have stood shoulder to shoulder with Ukraine since the conflict's outbreak, echoed Zelensky's sentiments, urging Russia to engage in good faith negotiations for a lasting peace. The partial ceasefire, while a step in the right direction, is seen as insufficient to address the fundamental issues at the heart of the conflict. The fragile agreement has done little to quell the anxieties of the Ukrainian people, who continue to endure the devastating consequences of war. Many remain skeptical of Putin's true intentions, fearing that the partial ceasefire is merely a tactical maneuver to buy time and regroup. The fear of renewed aggression hangs heavy in the air, casting a long shadow over any hopes for a swift resolution. Russia, for its part, has laid out a clear set of conditions for a comprehensive ceasefire and the initiation of full-scale peace talks. Putin, unwavering in his demands, insists on a complete halt to all foreign military aid and intelligence sharing with Ukraine. This stipulation, a major sticking point in previous negotiations, has been met with resistance from Ukraine's allies, who argue that such a move would leave Ukraine vulnerable and undermine its sovereignty. Furthermore, Russia demands recognition of its territorial claims in eastern Ukraine, a condition that is wholly unacceptable to Ukraine and its Western partners. The annexation of Crimea in 2014 remains a deeply contentious issue, poisoning the well of trust between the parties involved. The path to a lasting peace in Ukraine hinges on finding a way to bridge the vast gulf separating the positions of the warring parties. Compromise, a word rarely uttered in the context of this brutal conflict, is the only viable path forward. Whether such a compromise is achievable remains to be seen, but the alternative, a protracted and bloody war, is too horrific to contemplate. The partial ceasefire agreement, while far from ideal, offers a faint glimmer of hope in an otherwise bleak landscape. It represents a crack in the wall of animosity, a potential starting point for further dialogue and negotiation. The international community has seized upon this opportunity, urging both sides to show restraint and engage in good faith efforts to find a peaceful solution. Planned peace talks in the Middle East, while shrouded in uncertainty, offer a ray of hope. The choice of venue, a neutral ground far from the battlefields of Ukraine, is seen as a positive sign. Whether these talks will bear fruit remains to be seen, but the mere fact that they are taking place is a testament to the international community's unwavering commitment to peace. The road ahead is long and arduous, fraught with challenges and potential pitfalls. However, the pursuit of peace, even in the darkest of times, is a noble and necessary endeavor. The world watches and waits, hoping against hope that the fragile truce in Ukraine will hold, paving the way for a brighter future for all involved.